Welcome back to our series on the practical steps you can take in order to turn your career around and get moving in the direction you want to go. If you've been following along with our series, and if you haven't been following along with our series, why not? You should be. But if you've been following along with our series, in the last video, we talked about career maps. So you've got your resume, you've got your career map now, and we're going to start using that to launch out into creating systems. Now, this systems series is going to actually be, it's going to be a series of videos within the series. So I'm going to be on this systems thing for a little bit, but it is that important. This is really the key. The first one, resumes, I told you from the beginning, it's boring. Career maps, interesting idea, a little bit different than probably something you've done in the past, but now we're going to get into developing a system. As you see, by the time you get done with this, it's all going to start to make sense. Okay, so your system. I want you to think of a system much like a recipe. So somebody goes along, some chef, expert, presumably somebody who knows what they're doing, goes through and develops a recipe. They tell you exactly how much of every ingredient, they step by step, do this, do this, do this. If you get the ingredients right, you follow the steps, then you get a predictable result, right? Recipe, system, basically the same thing. You can also think about it as instructions or plans. If you buy something and it comes with the instructions or plans, it's the same thing. Here are the right materials and follow the step-by-step instructions. And it used to be that you'd get a predictable result. Anymore, the instructions are written by people who live in other countries and don't communicate well, and so we have no idea and we figure it out on our own. But presumably, if you have the right materials, the right instructions, you get a predictable result, and that's what we're going to do. The problem you have is there's only one you. No expert can possibly develop your system. You have to do it, which means you have to figure out the steps. Your career is unique, your skills are unique, everything about you is unique. You need your own system, and there's no expert that can do that for you. So what we're going to do, I've come up with a system for you to develop your system, and we're going to step into that. Okay, so to do this, first step is take out your career map, and hopefully you actually did the work of writing a good career map. So the quality of your system is going to be limited by how much effort you put into the previous steps, your resume and your career map. This is a series of videos, so each item builds on the last. So if you're shortcutting this, you're cheating yourself. But if you've got a good career map, then the first thing is to take a look at it and look at which direction on that map you want to go. Whatever you figured out, you take a look at your ultimate goal, the direction you're going to go, and I want you to sit down and write another resume. I know, resumes suck. We all hate them, but write out another resume. This one's going to be completely different. I want you to set your old resume aside for right now and write the resume for somebody else. This isn't you. This isn't based on your skills, your knowledge, your experience. This is a resume for an imaginary person who is the perfect candidate for the job that you want. And you can see where I'm going to go really, really quickly, because let me back up real quick. If you don't know all the qualifications and skills and everything you need right now, if you don't know what the perfect resume for that position looks like, go to your job listing websites, Indeed, Monster, whichever, there's a bunch of them. Go to one of those sites and start reading the advertisements that employers are putting there. They tell you exactly what they're looking for, right? So you've got that information. You write out the resume really quickly for the ideal candidate for that position, and then now you pull your old resume out and you start comparing the two. And this is where it gets interesting, because you take note of, well, I've already got this skill, I've already got this qualification, I'm already X% of the way to where I need to be in order to have that job. And then the next thing you take a note of is, what are you missing? In order to be this ideal candidate, I'm missing these areas. Okay, now you've got a list of exactly what you need, the skills, the knowledge, and experience, everything you need in order to be that person who walks in and gets that job. And then the third step is pretty obvious. Develop a plan, a system to fill in those gaps so you're that person, so that you go from on the career map, you go from where you're at to where you want to be. So when you do this exercise, the end result is going to be that you're going to find most people generally lack the education and the experience. Those seem to be, those are the two obvious shortcomings. The only reason you're not in that position already, education and experience, most likely. There are some outlying cases. We'll get into those. So all that's obvious, but I think the key is that now you have these specific knowledge and skills, knowledge, experience that you need to develop. And so you know exactly what you need to go after. And like I said, this is going to be a series of videos. So the next video is going to be taking a look at the skills that you need and developing a plan to get those skills. All right. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.